Welcome, everyone. Today's story will remind you that sometimes the smallest act of kindness can save a life. And what you are about to hear might stay in your heart forever. In a quiet, old neighborhood in New York City, two young artists lived in a small apartment building. One of them was Johnsy, a shy girl who dreamed of becoming a well-known painter. The other was Sue, her best friend. Kind, supportive, and always full of hope. Together, they filled their tiny rooms with half-finished sketches, colorful dreams, and late-night laughter. But as winter approached, everything changed. A cold wind swept through the city, and with it came a terrible illness. Johnsy fell sick with pneumonia. The doctors tried their best, but her body grew weaker each day. She stopped painting, stopped talking, and slowly stopped believing she would ever get better. One morning, Sue found Johnsy staring out the window, silent, pale, and empty. "What are you looking at?" Sue asked softly. Johnsy whispered, "Do you see that old ivy vine on the wall? The leaves are falling, one by one. When the last leaf falls, I will go too." Sue froze. She couldn't believe what she heard. How could Johnsy connect her life to a dying vine? But in fragile moments, the mind creates strange beliefs, and Sue knew her best friend was losing hope. "No, Johnsy," Sue said firmly. "That's not how life works. Leaves fall because winter comes, not because your time is ending." But Johnsy just turned her face back to the window, watching the vine with desperate eyes. Across the hallway lived old Mr. Behrman, a grumpy but warm-hearted artist in his 60s. He spent his whole life dreaming of painting a masterpiece, but never started one. Still, he loved Johnsy and Sue as if they were his own daughters. When Sue told him about Johnsy's belief, something changed in the old man's face. He didn't laugh, he didn't argue. He simply stood up and said, "This is foolishness. But if her life depends on a leaf, then a leaf she will have." That night, a violent storm hit the city. Rain slammed against the windows. The wind howled like a wild animal. Sue kept checking on Johnsy, terrified that the last leaf would be gone by morning. Johnsy didn't sleep. She just watched and counted every drop of rain. When the first light of dawn touched the window, Johnsy opened her eyes wide. Sue followed her gaze, and then both of them froze. "Look," Johnsy whispered. "It's still there. On the vine, against the stone wall, a single leaf held on, strong, green, and brave, even after the storm." Johnsy stared at it for a long time. "If that leaf didn't give up," she said slowly, "maybe I shouldn't either." It was the first time she had spoken with strength in days. From that moment, Johnsy began to fight for her life. She ate a little more every day. She talked. She smiled. And hope slowly returned to her fragile heart. Days passed. The leaf stayed. Not moving. Not shaking. Not falling. The doctor noticed the change in Johnsy and said, "You are on your way to recovery. Keep believing." And she did. But there was something Sue didn't tell her, something she learned only after Johnsy was well enough to sit up. One morning, the building manager visited them and broke the news. Old Behrman passed away last night. He caught pneumonia during the storm. Sue felt a sudden emptiness in her chest. Johnsy's eyes filled with tears. "How, why?" The manager sighed. "We found him outside in the cold that night. He had paint on his clothes and a lantern nearby. It seems he was working on something." Sue rushed to the window. Her voice trembled. "Johnsy, look at the leaf again." Johnsy leaned closer. The leaf was perfect. Too perfect. A little too still. Then Sue said softly, "That leaf didn't survive the storm. Mr. Behrman painted it." Johnsy covered her mouth with her hands. A single tear rolled down her cheek. "That was his masterpiece," Sue whispered. "The leaf that saved your life." Zhanzi cried, not out of sadness, but from the overwhelming truth that someone believed in her more than she believed in herself. From that day onward, Zhanzi carried a new purpose: to live with gratitude, to create with love, and to honor the man who taught her that hope can be painted even in the darkest night. And in the memory of old Behrman, she finally finished her first real painting. A simple green leaf. Strong, unbroken, full of life. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment to support the Tales Word. Your support helps inspire more people around the world.